Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, we have finally had the debut of Project L, the League of Legends fighting game. This game trailer came hot off the release of the finale of Arcane, the League of Legends animated show on Netflix, which if you haven't watched already is truly and honestly fantastic. I highly recommend it. So Project L is a fighting game, obviously enough, right? But what kind of fighting game is it? Well, it is a 2v2 fighting game with assists. Like in this clip here, you can see Jinx attacking, also using an axe, so that's all new for Jinx, and Echo comes in as the assist, tossing a projectile. So a 2v2 game with assists. If anything, it definitely raises the specter of Marvel vs. Capcom. So maybe it's definitely not one-to-one Marvel, but you know, the feeling, seemingly enough, is there. And sure enough, well, the DNA is there, right? The Cannon brothers, who are the leads on the project, they are the co-founders of EVO, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, and also the inventors of rollback netcode, so they know a thing or two about fighting games. So I guess this is the part where I give you the bad news up front. You're not gonna find this in the trailer, but as per their official blog, Project L is not coming out anytime in 2021, and it's not coming out anytime in 2022. So expect 2023 as the earliest possible release date, and that seems fake. Like 2023 doesn't seem like a real year, and yet this is how long we have to wait. What you're seeing here is a highly produced vertical slice, a sneak peek if you will, but the main proper game is unfortunately nowhere near finished just yet. That said, at the very least, they committed to at least 2 more appearances in 2022, so they aren't going radio dark for years again like the last time. Instead, expect the first update in 2022 in the second half, the beginning of the second half of 2022, which to me means EVO. So what about the gameplay? So it looks to be that, going by their own words and what you can see on the screen here, it will be a simplified input game. It seemingly is a 6-button game. As you can see here, S1A3, so I'm assuming A means attack, so attack 1, 2, 3, light, medium, heavy, and A1, 2, 3, your various simple input special moves. So one of the things you can notice here, besides the single button press, is there's also directional presses here, so there's at least a motion attached to some of these moves. I've gone on record in the past, I'm not a fan of simple input moves. Like, to me, that's not what really holds people back from fighting games. Like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Mortal Kombat, these are the biggest selling games in fighting games, and they definitely appeal to the casual market. And nobody's being scared off specifically because of the motions. That said, they got a lot of smart people working on this game. They got a lot of smart people on the team. So I'm sure if anyone, they can figure it out. What I truly and sincerely want is for them to make a believer out of me. Make me believe in the single button input. Because, you know, as a grappler player, that 360 and then hitting the button, that is everything, right? Hitting a single button doesn't feel as good. But Riot, please prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. This game looks really cool, so I want to be wrong. They have stated they're going for the easy to learn, hard to master kind of deal, which every fighting game says that, honestly, but hopefully they pull it off. There is certainly, going just by the trailer alone, the character depth mechanically is definitely there. Like looking at Echo and his time skip mechanic where you can leave an after image and warp back to it, somewhat similar to like Bedman and Guilty Gear Xrd, I guess. But as you can see, the movement, the options and all that is definitely there. So perhaps the inputs, the execution, that is a little bit more simplistic, but when it comes to the character's mechanical depth, just going by Echo alone, it seems that it's definitely there. But then again, seeing this too, I think, just to be a curmudgeon about this, right? If you're going to learn these fancy combos and setups, then that is a definite large amount of physical dexterity needed, at which point, you know, a fireball motion is not that big of a deal if you can already do this kind of stuff. That's just me being old man complaining, I guess, but we'll see, I guess. One exciting part of the trailer that's brought up is they're talking about rollback netcode. Now, if you're not aware, these guys are the guys who invented rollback netcode, so they know a thing or two when it comes to online play. One of the things they talk about is the information being relayed through Riot's own servers, as if you're unaware, they basically built their own internet. That's what League of Legends kind of money can let you do, because that's probably pretty expensive. They also talk about the end of the Wi-Fi player, as saying if you're fighting someone with Wi-Fi, if they drop packets or otherwise have a bad connection, they will be affected, but you will not. Which to me is downright revolutionary, because normally you only have a connection as good as the worst of the two connections. That, and it's going to be able to tell who actually disconnected in a rage quit situation and giving a loss and a win appropriately. What magic technology! It only took us a million years to get there. That's the one thing I have no worries about, is this game will definitely have the best online in fighting game history, bar none, no competition. And that is a big and sincere big breath of fresh air. Just never having to stress and worry about the online. These guys will definitely have it figured out. And one of the things they end off with is just a reminder, the game is still in research and development phase, so we're not done just yet. Which, fair enough, it's even apparent from the trailer. Like, to me, the Ari animations definitely don't look up to par compared to like Darius and Echo. They definitely look further along than Ari does. That all said, man, it sucks this game's still so far away. I thought it was further along, but I guess I was wrong, because they've already been working on it for quite a while. But if you want to make the best game you can, and you have the money and resources Riot has available, you might as well take the time you can to make sure you put out the best product you can. Because realistically, this game's probably going to take over the FGC. Like, just to be honest, right? When this game comes out, this game will be #1 with a bullet. So if this comes out in 2023, and hopefully early and not late, right? There's a very strong chance Street Fighter 6 will already be out by then, right? And every time there's a new Street Fighter de facto takes over. And I think this might give Street Fighter a run for its money. Obviously enough, it's a tag game, so it's not quite the same experience. But given the IP, League of Legends is one of the biggest games on planet Earth. The Arcane show just came out and did gangbusters. Everyone's raving about it. Even people who don't play League of Legends love the Arcane show. And now all of a sudden you're going to have Jinx on almost certainly Vi, and all the characters in the show are going to be in the game, plus the usual fan base. That's going to be some big, big numbers. Given its prominence and the fact it's probably going to take over the FGC, I just want it to be the best game it can be. I just have nothing but the sincerest and most honest hopes and dreams for this game. I want it to be the best game possible. That's why I kind of harp on the simple input stuff, because I personally am a little iffy. But man, prove me wrong. Make me look stupid for ever doubting the game. Basically, that is what I hope. This is going to be the biggest influx of new players into the fighting game community since Dragon Ball FighterZ, so I want them to have a comfortable game they can have a lot of fun with. And one that all of us old-timers can enjoy. But at least going by Echo alone, if they want that kind of mechanical depth in the character, hopefully that should be fine. Hopefully there's very good archetype representation across the cast. The launch cast, who knows? If at this point, this many years in, they still only have these characters and Katarina, because we saw her in the very early footage, it's probably going to be a smaller roster at launch, probably like 14 to 16 characters, but 14 to 16 characters, you can definitely get all the archetypes covered. So that all said, my friends, let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Are you excited for this? Do you have any quibbles? Do you just have any general thoughts? I legitimately want to know, because this game is going to be a big deal. And a couple years from now, you're probably going to see this game all over this channel, right? So let me know what you think in the comments below. And otherwise, well, we're at the end of the video. So in the end, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And whenever it gets a real name and we can stop calling it Project L, go out and play some Project L.